All right, gang. I am back. I just got done doing a Superior Drummer 3 video, and I came across this loop. And again, this channel is also supposed to be about songwriting and inspiration in songwriting. And so I thought I would show you guys how I write a song to a loop or come up with an idea. And this one really hit me today. I really dug this one. It's just strictly a fill, too. So I opened up an instance of Easy Mix 2, and just a basic guitar preset from Mr. Bob Rock in there. And I'm going to play the loop for you first. You can hear it. Just kind of a simple, kind of a jumpy fill there that probably to the naked ear doesn't stick out as anything, you know, super different in terms of inspiration or anything, but to me it did. It's one of those things that was like, wow, I could feel a song in there. I could hear it in the spaces. So I thought I would just show you in real time me jamming to this. I already have an idea in my head what I'm going to kind of do, and then kind of explain it after I do it, and hopefully that'll give you guys a few pointers and how to use these tools for your songwriting as well. Superior Drummer just isn't for, you know, doing the drummer job. I believe this is a real powerful machine when it comes to generating song ideas for you as well. You just got to look for them. You got to hear it. You got to allow that inspiration to come in. A lot of us, when we songwrite, some guys bounce really well off other musicians, maybe another guitar player, another singer-songwriter, a keyboard player. Me, I always jammed with drummers. Drummers gave me the most inspiration, and maybe that's why I love drums so much. I always secretly wanted to be a drummer, and I ended up being a guitar player, singer. So go figure, huh? But one thing that never left me was how I'm inspired by the drummer. So maybe it's a good thing that I can kind of step outside the bubble, because if I was a drummer, I don't know if I'd be able to actually step outside the bubble to see and hear this as much as I do now. So, you know, things happen for a reason. So, yeah, I'm just going to jam to it and then tell you about what I'm hearing and maybe talk while I'm jamming. I don't know if I will be able to, if I lose the beat, forgive me on that. I'm trying to do 5 things at once here, but let's give it a shot. Okay, that for me, right there, that feels like a really cool verse turnaround, or just a verse in general, or a chorus with the turnaround there. And what I mean by turnaround is you can tell on every other one, so the 2 and the 4 right there, the 2nd and the 4th measure, I did the descending down to the E. So it gave you that tension and release of the riff. So right there, the resolution right there. It gave you the relief. So again, for me, songwriting is through ebbs and flows. It's like a wave. It's tension and release, and how that builds within the song. There are so many variables that allow that, I guess, direction to be made while you're writing, that you can't just pinpoint it on one thing. It's going to be each individual's own map that they have. But hopefully this will show you and give you guys some ideas on how to maybe look at the map a different way and allow it to kind of guide you through the songwriting process with just a single loop. So I didn't even put it into Song Creator yet. I haven't Well, meaning I haven't laid down any foundation. It was just strictly this loop itself. And so what I try to do is try to take that, extract as much creativity from that one loop as I can, even before I get to that song creator stage, which gives me other variables in here, other different verses and pre-choruses and choruses and bridges and yada, yada, yada. It just goes on and on and on. But before I get there, I want to squeeze as much as I can out of this. So already that gave me a good feel. And now I'm just going to come up with another part and continue with it. But I'm first going to play that part again and then see where that leads me, and we'll see what we can come up with. All right. Wow, that was quick. Okay. Well, hopefully you heard in there tension and release. You heard the apex, and then you heard it not be the apex. So we went high to low. Whichever you need as far as the language to understand the idea of tension, use it. So for me, it was building. And again, where I went on the second half of that was that E, I need something to build it up. Okay, that gives me that build. And then we resolve. And then then I resolve. I'm just making up a melody. I don't know yet. And then I need more tension. Then I go up and up and up in the air. And then I go hard. So hopefully you guys can hear that. Those are great songs. I mean, I find rarely any songs today that don't use the same three chords. It just depends on how they play them, or if they invert them, or if they reverse them, or they use the second chord in the first part, and the first one would be in the third, and the third in the second. I mean, you know what I mean? They can kind of switch them around like that, but usually it's 3 or 4 chords. But they all have something in common. All this music has something in common, whether you're writing on guitar, whether you're writing on keyboards, piano, organ, you know, synthesizer, anything like that. Just anything that has, you know, a note. There's always tension and release. Now, with this sample, it's just straight fire through the whole thing, right? But what I'm hearing in that gives me the inspiration is the spaces in between the hits. It has a bounce to it. And the bounce allows me to hear stuff in between. So it's that right there. So listen to it. It's that air. That right there is what gives you that spark, at least for me. And the same with the second half there. It was that E, and I knew that was at its bottom. So I needed to have it go up to give me some tension, and then it created that tension, and then that resolve back down. And then that tension, and then that resolve. And then that tension, and then I need more tension. And just keep, and then back to that. So it gives you that lift and that push and that explosion at the end. So let me just play that 4 times, and then into that opening riff on the end there again, so you guys can see that. So those 2 parts, I'm going to keep those, and then we're going to continue on those in maybe the next video, or one soon after that, and then we're just going to kind of build on this. I wasn't really expecting to do this, but this will be a lot of fun, and then we'll kind of see where this goes. I have no idea. But yeah, that's how I created on there. And again, there will be maybe some deviations on how I, what notes I select here during the verses, during the choruses. Maybe I will keep the same pattern. Maybe I will give it more of a octave kind of sound. Maybe something like that. Maybe kind of change it up a little bit. But that's the rough skeleton. So the basic idea behind this video was to show you that a drum loop can go so far into your songwriting process that I don't think a lot of people know that it can, because it's just looked at as a drum loop. But look at it as a riff. And this was a cool riff for me, so it connected with me. Each loop, or riff, it may not connect with everybody, but it does for me. And I think that's the thing. It's about your creative aspect. It's about what you can connect with. So try that. When you're ever in a songwriting funk, go into Superior Drummer, go into Easy Drummer. Just start going through all the loops. And if you hear a loop that you like, drag. I don't care if it's a fill, if it's an ending, if it's a bridge, a chorus, pre-chorus, verse, intro, who cares? If you feel inspiration from it, put it in there. Put it on a loop. See what you can do. All right? All right, guys. Till the next video. Later.